That's right. If you look at the history of the last 30 years, we find that there are 30 years lost, more or less, in most of the countries. If you look at Ukraine, Ukraine is the worst example. Ukraine is falling back in terms of capita per head compared to the West. How can it be that the country we consider to be so important now, we left out in the cold, so to say, and it was shrinking. It was shrinking in relation to us, and Russia as well is not doing well. If you look at Putin or watch Putin's speeches, he says economically the West is doing a mess with that. They want us just as the suppliers of commodities, and this is what it is all about. We have suppliers of commodities, but all these countries had no chance in the last 30 years to build up productive capacities and to catch up in a way that China did, for example.
But Russia had its economic diversification strategy. It had its Skolkovos, it had its St. Petersburg International Economic Forum with the Kudrin reforms and what have you, where they were going to have other sources of major income, and then just fell back on natural resources themselves. It wasn't just the way the West is treating them.
Yeah, but the result is not there. You see, we do not see the result, and this is the problem. We think just opening our market, Russia into the WTO, and so that will solve the problem, but it is not. Opening the market is a threat. It's a threat to most of the countries because we are so strong. Our companies are much stronger than theirs, so we have absolute advantages, you know. Sure. Economists like to talk about comparative and absolute advantages. It's all about absolute advantages, and we are the guys with the absolute advantages, and they are falling behind. And that is what produces the frustration everywhere, including in the EU. Look at Bulgaria, look at Romania, look at the Balkans, look at Poland, look at Hungary. They're all frustrated, and they all are voting funny things. This does not stop at the border of the EU.
That's really interesting, because people have talked a lot about the Visegrad countries as well, the Hungaries, the Polands of the world. And until this current crisis, there were real concerns from many people who attend this conference, from the likes of Mr. Gentiloni, from the likes of Mr. Dombrovskis and others, about the Visegrad countries. Do you think those issues will re-emerge?
They're there. They do not have to re-emerge. They are there. They're every day there. And so we have to reconsider our whole strategy. This is what I'm saying. The whole economic integration strategy has failed in a certain respect. And that is
so
because the EU's integration strategy, yeah,
but
opening the market.
The unity here. One thing I'm hearing from this event is that actually European unity is back. EU unity is stronger than ever.
Unity, the Western unity, huh? We are talking about the West, West. This is the big difference still. We're talking about France, maybe Italy even. Not sure, but France and Germany, or Germany, mainly Germany. Germany is the main winner of the opening strategy of Eastern Europe in the last 30 years, so no one else.